Story time on how I almost got killed. So I was living at my friend's house, and he decided to rent out his extra room, and he rented it out to a guy and his girlfriend. So the girl was turning 21 and she wanted to throw a party. My friend said, yeah, sure, and we went out camping that weekend. We got back Sunday afternoon and decided we would just chill and order some pizza. After dinner, I decided to go up to my room and watch some TV. After about 30 minutes, I heard a knock and my friend opened the door and 5 guys come rushing in the house. These 5 guys had bats, pipes, and machetes. I didn't really know what was happening, but I could hear my dogs barking. My friend calls me downstairs, and I was walking down the stairs. I see 2 guys at the front door. I walk down the stairs, and halfway, one of them tells me if I get any closer, he'll cut me. But little did they know that I had a gun. Follow for part 2. Part 2 on how I almost got killed. So I ran to my room and grabbed my gun. As I was walking down the stairs, 2 of them saw my gun and ran out the door. The other 3 were still in the kitchen. So I walked to the kitchen pointing my gun. 2 of them ran out the front door while I was chasing the last one. So I chased the last one down the hallway. He ran out the door, and as he was running out the door, one of my dogs grabbed his leg and bit him. The other 4 dudes get in their car and drive away, leaving the one that got bit behind. He started chasing the car, and I was still chasing him with my gun. And he managed to get away. After all that, we found out that he was at the couple's party and he got into a fight with our other roommate over some beer. And yes, we filed a police report. Like and follow for more story times. Crazy story time about the time I found my sister and my cousin hooking up. So like every year for the holidays, our family would get together and we would have a big family reunion every year. Now before I get started with the story time, this cousin, we would never see him at family reunions. But this year he decided to come. So him and his sister stayed at our house. On Christmas Eve, we made a big dinner, and that was at our uncle's house. So after dinner, my cousin, let's call him Billy, said, oh, I want to go to bed. So my sister said, okay, I'll take you home. They asked me if I wanted to go, but I said no. I said I'll catch up to them in a bit. So they went home. About 20 minutes after that, my sister texts me and tells me to let her know when we are on our way. Like and follow for part 2. Part 2 on how I found my sister and our cousin hooking up. So around 1 a.m., exactly 2 hours after my sister left, I decided I wanted to go to bed. But I completely forgot that she told me to let her know when I was on my way. So I get home and the front door is closed. But we always leave our back door open. So I walked in the house, walked to my sister's room, and I see her and my cousin doing the nasty. I was completely shocked and I just walked away. 20 minutes after that, they come and sit down next to me in the living room like nothing happened. After like 10 minutes of silence, my sister tells me that our parents cannot know. And he said that he knew it was wrong, but they've liked each other for a very long time. And I told them that I wouldn't tell our parents, but they would have to. She got mad at me and asked me why I couldn't keep her secret. Like and follow for part 3. Part 3 on how I found my sister and our cousin hooking up. So I told her that I could keep any secret but that we are family and you just do not do that. But she did not see anything wrong with it. So I gave her till the end of the weekend to tell our parents. So it's Sunday morning and my cousin is just about to leave and he's in the room packing his bags. And since she had no plans on telling our parents, I decided I would tell them myself. So I told our parents the whole story. They walk in my sister's room and guess who's making out? My sister and my cousin. Long story short, he does not come to any family reunions anymore. She stopped talking to me for about a year. And till this day, she still thinks there was nothing wrong with that.
Story time about how my boyfriend's best friend tried to ruin our relationship. So a little background information. My boyfriend boyfriend used to be best friends with this one girl. We're gonna call her Jamie. Well, Jamie and my boyfriend were best friends for years, and the friendship was more flirty than anything. Well, him and I got to know each other during track season, so we were always hanging out after school, and sometimes Jamie would be there too. Well, the one night him and I were on FaceTime and we were talking about how we really liked each other. So the next day we started dating, and I was good friends with Jamie too. Then after we started dating, she started acting really weird towards me. Like, I would try to say hi whenever I saw her in the hallways, and she would just give me a dirty ass look. So then I told my boyfriend how I thought that she was really mad at me, and he said that he would talk to her. Well, a week before him and I started dating, she told us that there was this guy that she really wanted to ask to prom, and she said that she liked him for a while. Well, then my boyfriend said, apparently a few days ago you were hitting on the boy that she was gonna ask to prom. So then I started to connect the dots, and I was like, oh shit, like for part 2. Part 2 about how my boyfriend's best friend tried to ruin our relationship. So like I said, I started to connect the dots after that. And then I realized that she was talking about my boyfriend. We're just gonna call him Josh. So as he's telling me this, I immediately get a FaceTime call from her. So I answer the phone, and she says, well, I think I should just confront the situation now. So the first thing that she says is, you knew I liked Josh. Like, how could you do this to me? I had a poster board and everything. So I'm just like, well, why didn't you tell me that you liked him? And she goes, what the fuck do you mean? Like, you knew. But I was sitting there thinking about the fact that they were best friends for 5 years and nothing ever happened, so it's really not my fault. And then this girl has the nerve to say, I'm pretty sure if you just break up with him now, me and you can get past this and still be friends. So I said no. So then I called my boyfriend, told him that we talked it out, and I didn't even tell him about what she said or anything like that, because I just wanted the situation to be over and done with. So a few weeks after that, she decided to get her brother involved. Her brother and Josh were best friends, by the way. Well, then her brother told Josh that him and I had been hooking up like for part 3. My boyfriend found out that his best friend got me pregnant. It was my junior year in high school, and my boyfriend and I had been dating for 4 months. Well, the one night him, his friend, and I were all supposed to go to this party. My boyfriend ended up getting called into work that night, so his friend and I went. Which my boyfriend was fine with because he wanted his best friend to keep an eye on me, but he also trusted us. Anyway, so his friend and I ended up going to the party, and then but the next morning I woke up, I didn't remember that at all. So fast forward, I find out that I'm pregnant. Well, me forgetting that I totally cheated on my boyfriend, I thought that it was his. Well, a week later, I get a text from his friend. He's like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, what do you mean, what are we gonna do? So then he filled me in on the whole situation that I didn't remember. But I was like, there's really no chance of this because my boyfriend and I fucked like a million times and me and you fucked once. The real tea is that my boyfriend was black and his friend was white. Well, me being the ass bitch that I am, I was like, well, let's just wait it out. I bet it's not his, like for part 2. Part 2 about how my boyfriend found out that his best friend got me pregnant. So like I said, my boyfriend was black, his best friend was white, and because I doubted that it was his best friend's kid, I decided to wait it out. Say it with me, bad idea. So fast forward, I'm in the delivery room and I decide not to have my boyfriend in there. Well, let's just say good thing that he did. Bitch, whenever this thing popped out, it was white as fucking paper. So I was like to the doctor, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have a panic attack. Please get the baby out of the room. I don't want anybody around the baby right now. So when my boyfriend came back in the room, I was like, oh, we can't see the baby. He's having some issues. He's over here freaking out. I'm having a fucking panic attack about what I'm gonna do. And they brought my kid back and I was like, that's not my kid. And this girl looked so confused. She was like, oh, okay. And my boyfriend and I are laughing. We're like, oh, haha, that's funny. Then she comes back into the room and she's like, ma'am, this is your kid. So my boyfriend started screaming and he broke up with me after that. Like, how rude to just leave me with a kid by myself. No, I'm just joking. I know that was pretty fucked.